What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video, and today we have a lot to talk about because The Crew 2 has been delayed. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you will know that I have been a huge advocate for The Crew and just the whole series generally. Ivory Tower as a developer, I love the games they have made. They've only made one game, but you know what I mean. I've supported them ever since I first heard about it. You know, The Crew in 2013, back when they did the Route 909 streams, I was there right at the start, and I've kind of followed their progression ever since the first one, and I've been really excited to play the second one ever after I went to Gamescom and actually played it. And some links will be down in the description to gameplay and stuff if you haven't already seen or you're interested. But essentially, it was announced, I think like yesterday, that The Crew 2 will be delayed alongside a few other games. I think Far Cry was on the list of games that will be delayed. Instead, now The Crew 2 will release from somewhere between April to September of next year instead of March, which the game was originally to be released on. Now, I've got a few opinions about, you know, what I think about the delay. Is it good or bad? You know, should they have even given a release date in the first place? I've got a few things to share, so I'm going to go ahead and share those first and then talk a bit about what this means for The Crew 2. I've said this before on game delays and, you know, delaying games and stuff. I personally don't think you should give a specific release date. They said March the 16th, I believe. I don't think you should say a specific release date if you're not sure that the game is going to be ready. I personally believe that you should only give a release date when you know that the game is going to be released on that time. Otherwise, give it a vague release date of like 2018 or 2019. I would never expect a development company or a publisher to give a release date to a game prematurely before they even know when the game is going to be ready. Now, obviously, you've got to work on, you know, timelines and deadlines, and that makes complete sense, but it's quite obvious with whatever's happening with The Crew, they're having issues. The beta, which was supposed to happen a while ago, you know, they announced at E3, so that makes me assume that this should have happened probably around September time, still hasn't happened, and they've made sure that you know, in this article, they've said that they want to make sure that the players get hands-on with the game. So that makes me think, you know, betas and test servers are still going to be a thing, but obviously there's some type of issue going along here that we don't know about, you know, whether that's time constraints, whether that's, you know, the project being really over-ambitious and them needing more time to kind of finesse that. That makes complete sense. Keep in mind the original Crew also had a similar issue, and with the original Crew, that was delayed, I think, over a year or something across those lines. I can't remember the specifics, but I know for a fact the original Crew was delayed. I think it was supposed to come out in 2014, but then some things happened and it just got knocked on and knocked on and knocked on. But regardless, you know, even with all that being said, even though I think that, you know, they shouldn't have given a release date with them kind of knowing this, it's a good thing for the game. It's a good thing to see that they're going to put more time into the game and they're not going to release it as a broken mess. I can personally really appreciate that. Quality takes time, and I completely understand what they are doing. This is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. What's a bad thing is kind of how they've got, well, Ubisoft, I assume, have gone around, you know, making sure this game has a release date for March when it quite clearly shouldn't even have a release date in the first place, and they should have just said 2018. But what I do think is good is the fact that they have delayed it and they haven't pushed it out, because obviously a broken game will forever be a broken game, but a fixed game and a polished game will be much better until obviously patches come along and stuff. But you get what I mean. Giving it this extra time to make sure the game is polished and perfect, great. No issues with that. I just think it was a bit of a silly move from Ubisoft's part to make sure, or maybe Ivory Tower, I don't know who did it, but I think it's a bit of a silly move for them to give the Crew 2 an early kind of release date. That's my only real opinion on this, really. In the long term, this is a great thing, though. In the long term, I genuinely believe that this will definitely make a huge difference to the game. Not only are they getting 1 or 2 months, but, you know, if this game does end up coming out in September, that's a long ass time. So hopefully now they have, you know, the means to make sure that The Crew 2 is the best it can possibly be, and I would love to get involved with some, you know, behind the scenes stuff with The Crew 2, because honestly, alongside Need for Speed, I'd say this is probably my most anticipated racing game of the past few years. I really enjoyed the first one. I put days and days into the first one, and I can't wait to see what Ivory Tower pull out the bag with The Crew 2. To be honest, the only thing at this point I'm hoping for is that the beta comes along soon, because I've been waiting for way too long for that. I want to get back on it, and I want, you know, you guys to experience it. Obviously, I've played this already at Gamescom, and I've said so much praise about the game. I've said this is one of the most underrated slept-on games at Gamescom, or just during this kind of E3 Gamescom period of this year. And, you know, a lot of people don't believe me when I'm saying all this stuff, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I had high expectations for The Crew 2, having enjoyed the first one so much. But the physics, the way the game plays, the way the game feels, it's It's honestly one of the best feeling racing games in a very long time, and I can't wait to show that off with you. And even little things like the boats and the planes and stuff, a huge improvement and something which I really want everyone to try because it's just really, really good. So let's go ahead and hope that we hear something about this soon. I am looking forward to the Crew 2 regardless, and I think if anything, this delay, it's kind of made my hype go up a notch. It just kind of shows, like, again, that nothing's really changed from the original Crew. They're still, you know, the same ivory, and they're still looking to do the same thing, and the fact that they have been given this delay and not pushed out a game which is rushed, that for me is something which is really important. That gets me really excited to see the finished product. Anyway, that's been it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of the Crew 2, make sure to go ahead and say locked to the channel, because we will be playing the betas and hopefully getting some early stuff. If Ivory, no, I'm alive. I'm alive. Anyway, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed, if you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome day, safe, and peace.